Missing 411 is, as they say in the bio, for people who want to know more, unexplained disappearances and other weirdness. The reasoning for the subreddit's name originates from a series of things such as books, documentaries and podcasts by a man called David Paulides who discusses unsolved disappearances. Since April 15th of 2014, 277,000 people have come to this subreddit to discuss missing 411 cases, with the most popular post being a great example of this. Do these images look similar? The top is a map of missing 411 cases, the bottom is a map of America's cave system. Cave systems seem to play an interesting role in some of these disappearances. The Mammoth Cave system in particular had caught my interest. In the comments of this post, I found a lot of interesting stories. My mom said a man came bursting out of the hillside when she was a little girl at the Carter Caves in Kentucky. He said he had been wandering underground for days and saw light through the ground. They were having a fried chicken picnic at the time. He would join their feast before being transported home. This would have been in the 70s. Many more stories like this exist on this subreddit, however I unfortunately don't have enough time to go through all of them. On the 14th of November 2019, this channel was created. In the description they would call it a video distribution company. The first video they'd upload is called World's Weirdest Animals, Gemini Home Entertainment. At the start of the video, nothing that concerning happens. It's only near the end it gets weird. A few of these videos share the same kind of themes as their first video, however the channel gets stranger nearing their last video. The videos now don't seem to be betraying its educational theme like it did at first, becoming more evident with their last video called Old Bones. At the end of the video, someone seemingly mouths the words, "Help me," before getting dragged away. This channel has not uploaded since, maybe meaning that the channel's stories come to an end. South centre of Mexico City, multiple dolls can be found scattered around the island. The island will become a popular destination for dark tourism, with the Guinness World Records hosting this island as the largest collection of haunted dolls. Julian Santana Barrera, the man responsible for collecting the dolls, it is said that he tragically came across a girl floating down a canal, or failed to save her from drowning. The very next day, he would find a doll going down the same canal that he found the girl in, believing that the doll belonged to the girl. He decided to hang it from a tree for her memory, and to fight off the evil spirits that came with it. In 2001, Barrera's nephew went to the island to help his uncle. They would fish in the canal. They claimed that mermaids were calling for him in the water. The nephew would only leave for a short amount of time. However, when he came back, he saw his uncle lifeless in the canal, in the same spot where the girl was said to have drowned. Since the island has become open to the public, multiple reports of dolls moving and whispering would arise. Around the San Francisco Bay Area, 5 people would tragically perish and 2 would be injured around the years of 1968 and 1969. This story is already tragic, however it gets even worse when you realise that these crimes may have been committed by one person. December 20th, 1968, 2 young people would sadly perish from gunshots. July 4th and 5th, 1969, 2 people would be shot, with only one of them surviving. September 27th, 1969, 2 people would be attacked with a knife, with only one person surviving, and in October 11th, 1969, a man would tragically be shot, ending his life. The reason for why these killings are connected is because he would mail taunting messages to the regional newspapers, admitting to his crimes, and threatening killing sprees and bombings if they did not print out this for the newspaper. He would also leave behind cryptograms and ciphers, with 2 of them still remaining unsolved. Even with all this information and sketch drawings about this man, he was sadly never caught, leading me to the end of this mystery. A man that goes by the name of Christman Jonah, born in Germany, is known as a serial killer and a bandit. It was reported that over 13 years ago, from 1569 to 1581, this man would murder 964 people. Christman would pass away from a torture method called breaking on the wheel, which was a public execution method involving being plunged to death, which in his case would last for a total of 9 days. A man that goes by the name of Caspar Herber, who would become the first pamphleteer to write about this tale, even talking about some of his heinous crimes in gruesome details. They would also find out that he allegedly had 6 kids and a diary, documenting the tally of loot he would gain from murdering 964 people. Historians are still uncertain of Christman's existence after all these years. Similar stories of other serial killing bandits would arise in the Holy Roman Empire during and after Christman's alleged life. Not a lot of information about this man exists online, leading me to the end of this story. This account is without a doubt one of the most popular. As of right now, they have 151.9 thousand followers and gained 4.6 million likes. The bio of the account reads, "No doubles, only one Shannon, Detroit, not dead, never been fuglies."
Night Snack.
This is the very first video on this account. The videos that would be created after would share the same kind of theme. The final post on this account would be uploaded in 2023, showing this person instead, with the text reading, "Hello everyone, no ketamine for me today." The creator of this account seems to have created other accounts, however I'm not sure if it's actually her or someone impersonating her. This leads me to the end of my research into these strange TikTok accounts. A woman in Massachusetts on July the 19th, 1860, called Lizzie Borden, would be born. On Thursday, August 4th, 1892, Lizzie would find her father and then her stepmother. unresponsive, alerting the family maid of what she just saw. During investigations, they found out that the two of them passed away in an extremely brutal way, with Abby Borden apparently facing someone before getting attacked. She was struck on the side of her head with a hatchet, cutting her just above the ear, which made her turn and fall face down on the floor. The killer would then strike 17 more times in the back of the head. Andrew would come back home around 10:30 AM, struggling to open the door. He knocked to see if anyone would let him in. Sullivan went to unlock the door herself, however, it was jammed. According to her, she would hear laughing from Lizzie on the top of the stairs, which is strange, considering that around this time, Abby had already perished. She also stated that he would take off Andrew's boots and helped him into his slippers, before lying down on the sofa to have a nap. A detail that was contradictory by the crime scene photos, showing that he was wearing his boots when he passed away. Andrew was apparently sleeping when he was struck 10 or 11 times with a hatchet-like weapon, with one of his eyes being gruesomely split in two. Lizzie would be questioned by the police, with her answers being strange and even contradictory. It was also reported that her behaviour was disliked by the officers, with some of them saying that she was too calm, considering what she just saw. Weirdly, she would never be checked for blood stains, because she was apparently unwell. The officers were criticised for their lack of diligence on the case. In the basement, they found a broken hatchet, believing it to be the murder weapon. It seemed highly likely that she committed this heinous crime, however. She was acquitted of the crime on August 4th, 1892, with nobody ever being charged for the murders. This case sparked a lot of popularity, with many people and authors stating that she most likely did this crime and completely got away with it. She spent the remainder of her life in the Fall River, passing away of pneumonia in 1927 at the age of 66. This Reddit community, created in 2012, this is a place where people talk about being betrayed or wronged and start plotting to get some revenge. This community has 2,000 members and remains very active to this day. Some of the posts on this page don't talk about anything that concerning, however some do. The most popular post on this page says this: "My goal is simple and diabolical. I have coordinated a complicated heist to ensure my capture of one of my sister's prize cookies. In 14 minutes she'll take the cookies out of the oven. At this point I have approximately 15 minutes until the cookies have cooled enough for me to take one. However, my sister plans to move these cookies as soon as they have cooled, so I need to intercept them before she can lock them away in her plastic container. Then after she has removed them from the pan, how will I do this? I will need a most villainous distraction. Now, my sister is best friends with a boy named Matthew. If he were to call, she would drop everything and answer the phone. As such, I have reprogrammed my house caller ID to say Matthew. When I call the house, as she moves down to the phone, I am already en route to take the cookies. I steal 3 of the 12, dump the rest on the floor, and let the dog eat them. I then rush back and then re-edit the caller ID. My sister sees the dog eating the cookies and suspects him while I eat 3 cookies in my room, free of suspicion." This is probably the best example of a post that isn't really that serious. However, I did find someone that posted this. "My ex cheated. I broke up with him and that motherfucker killed my dog. He tried to gaslight me into thinking it was all in my head until I found proof. I instantly broke up with him after that. He said it was probably for the best and acted like he wasn't even bothered. It broke my heart. For 4 years he acted like he was a kind and empathetic man, and I really believed we had a solid bond. This was like a completely different person. After the breakup he tried to get back at me with a smear campaign, but that didn't really work because people were skeptical about his version of the facts and told me what he was trying to do. Suddenly my dog got very sick. While he was fine that day before, he seemed lethargic and weak. I had trouble motivating him to go outside for his walk. First thing he did outside was pee, and it was bright red blood. He collapsed shortly after. We rushed him to the emergency vet and they strongly suspected rat poison. Horrible story short, my dog didn't make it. I asked for an autopsy even though it was expensive, and they found meat and rat poison in his stomach/intestines. There is no way my dog could have gotten access to rat poison anywhere. I went over every little detail in my head so many times. There's only one explanation, and that is that someone fed my dog poisoned meat. There's only one person that still had a key to my house, knew my schedule, and was trusted by my dog. I can't prove it. Nobody would even believe me. They would never ever think he's capable of something like that. He's such a nice and humble guy, but I've been reading up the last few weeks, and to my shock, I've come to find out I've been in a relationship with a covert narcissist, and it's been a rude awakening. He killed my best friend. He's not getting away with this. I've made him believe we're on good terms, and that we can still be friends. Stroked his ego a bit. He doesn't know I made a copy of his house key before I gave it back. He's out of the country for 2 weeks on holiday. The time is now. It's really important it does not look like revenge, and that it does not lead back to me. I was thinking stuff like a shrimp in the curtain rods, something that will slowly drive him insane, but it's damaging to him. Please help me avenge my beautiful boy. He was the best dog ever, and the worst thing is he adored my ex. Royal that ass while generally treating my dog with thinly veiled contempt. This story is without a doubt disturbing. She did reply to some people in the comments of this post. However, this post and these comments are from 4 years ago. I don't know what else has happened since, leading me to the end of the strangest Reddit communities to ever exist. I found a Reddit post titled I Am Zhaoli, with a video attached to it. The first video I found on this channel was called Learn How to Speak Chinese with I Am Zhaoli.
什么？
During this short video, she poses in front of the camera, while we occasionally see clips of hand puppets and multiple people, but the one that creeps me out the most is when we see her standing by someone covered in tape and tinfoil. The next video, posted 4 days later, is called 0001 How to Say My Name in Chinese.
叫 小丽，
She has someone else beside her, repeating back the words she's saying in Chinese. However, she doesn't seem happy at all.
你叫什么名字？你叫什么？你叫什么名字？Subscribe. You like it.
She's now talking to the man wrapped in tape and tinfoil constantly, until the outro eventually plays. Most of the videos share the same kind of themes, teaching other words such as friend, hungry, secret and alone, and many more. But one video in particular caught my interest. Hypnosis. You are smart. You will learn Chinese.
你可以学中文。You can learn Chinese. 你会学中文。You will learn Chinese.
She spends a large portion of the video staring directly at the camera, trying to hypnotise us into thinking we can learn Chinese.
我是聪明的。Subscribe it. You like it.
She has one more video called How to Say Hypnotise in Mandarin Chinese, which is basically the same video I already mentioned. She just teaches you different words while trying to hypnotise you. How to Say Nightmare in Chinese is the final video she would ever upload to her channel.
I had a nightmare last night. 我昨晚做了一个
I did find a post on a Facebook page almost a full year after the final upload, which reads, "Hello everybody. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video or even commented here. We're trying to figure out how to continue making videos, but it will probably require being a part of a larger effort. The videos we like to make are a little more complicated than just standing in front of a camera, recording and uploading. So, just want you to know that you are not abandoned, we are still looking for options." This would be the final thing she'd post online. She has a few videos pirated, but I won't look for them just in case she doesn't want them seen publicly again. So from what I know, this would be the final thing she has ever said online in over 13 years, leading me to the end of my investigation. The Instagram goes by the name of Grandpa Conspiracy, with 14 posts and 167 followers. The first post I found on its account was a picture of cassettes, pictures, a bunch of paper and a flask. The creator left a comment that said this: "My grandfather is dead. We never met in person. He always was some kind of outcast to my family after leaving my grandpa and my dad. He left me all of his belongings, a box full of VHS tapes, cassettes, strange books and a bunch of weird notes and old photos. This is my research to find the truth about him." Most of the posts after this would talk about just watching a certain cassette. The creator of this account would also show what some of the cassettes would play, but most of the videos have no audio and it's hard to tell what's going on in them. Until I found this one. Tape, Fenrir Foundation. I found another post which seems to explain what the Fenrir Foundation is. After trying to translate this the best I could, I got this. Private investigation organisation created in 1912 for the analysis of paranormal events. I did also find a YouTube channel called the Fenrir Foundation, and I know this channel is linked with the Instagram account because in the description of this channel it talks about the Mr. J case. In the first post on this Instagram account you can see Mr. J written on one of the cassettes. The YouTube videos are where this story gets confusing, so I'll leave it for you guys to find out if you want to. The links to both the Instagram account and YouTube channel will be in the description.